Hello and welcome to Town Talk for the new season. We've even got a new background, but we've got the old Doug Thomson with us. Right, yo Doug.
Nice to see you.
Oh, very nice. It's been a busy summer at Town. First match, Southend, 2-2 draw. Did they not draw with Southend last season? Was it 1-1 as well?
Oh, they actually beat him last season,
right.
believe it or not, so it's not quite as good, yeah. In fact, that was the first game after Lee Clark's appointment, if you remember, back in December. Although Graham Mitchell was in charge of the team.
Okay.
So he was obviously keen to repeat that win. Didn't quite work out like that. It could have done, given the the way the match panned out. And it was one of those games that could have ended up three ways. It sounds daft, but Southend were well in control at 2-0 up. Great fight back by Town, inspired by the double substitution which brought on Lee Novak and Jordan Rhodes. Got back to 2-2. Town were in the ascendancy at that stage. Michael Collins then got sent off, which just took the gloss off things a little bit. And over the full 90 minutes, a draw was probably a reasonable outcome.
There was, I guess, the difference between Town last season and Town this season seems to be that they can score.
Certainly, I mean, anybody who says he hasn't tried to address the striker problem's got it well wrong, hasn't he? Because he's brought in four, and all four have done a good job so far. We've seen snippets of them all. Hopefully, there's more to come from all of them. Jordan Rhodes has made a massive impact. He was the most recent to come in. That's 3 goals in 2 games that he scored, and he looks like a real natural goal scorer. Theo Robinson scored a great goal the other night. Had the manager comparing him to Andy Cole, if you remember, in Newcastle. One of his heroes, apparently. So that's Robinson's, not Lee Clark's. But he scored a cracking goal on Tuesday night against Stockport. Held off his marker well, a great finish. Lee Novak has made all 3 of Jordan Rhodes' goals. He's a real sort of workhorse. He gets about the pitch. He looks like he could score goals himself. He shoots on sight. Robbie Simpson of the 4 has probably taken the longest so far to settle in, but there's certainly signs that he's got something to offer. So it's looking good.
Well, if we got that, obviously Rhodes scored again on Tuesday night, wasn't it, against Stockport?
Yeah, twice. Yeah.
What sort of performance was that? Was it an attacking? Was it defending? What were they like?
Very good attacking performance. They took the game by the scruff of the neck from the start, really. Stockport did have the moments early on. They had a couple of good chances of free kick that went just over, but Town kept persevering. They got the first goal just before half time, which is notoriously a bad time to concede. It proved that way because they got the second goal came 3 minutes into the second half, and they were really in control of the game after that. Robinson got the 3rd goal, and Stockport replied late on. No more than a consolation, really.
Right. Well, last night it was announced it'll be ding ding round 2.
Yeah.
Peter Clark up against Newcastle. Lee Novak. They'll all be out again. So, what do you reckon the feeling is down at the Golf Farm? Have you spoken to Lee about it?
It's a great draw, really. It has to be, doesn't it? Newcastle might not be in the Premier League anymore, but certainly in my view, they're one of the biggest draws you could get because of what's happened there. It's a drama every day, and it's like a soap opera unfolding, isn't it? So to get a little part of that's going to be very interesting. St James's Park's a great ground. There might not be the biggest crowd in the world there, but I think Town will take a lot of fans up there. Yeah. So atmosphere should be quite good. It's a real cup tie to look forward to.
I think so. And then coming forward to this Saturday at Southampton and Ricky Lambert.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Southampton is arguably a big game in its own right. They're still a big name, and another club that have, what's happened to them off the field makes them more interesting, really. 2 or 3 years ago, you'd never expected them to be down in League One, a bit like Leeds. They've got a 10-point deduction. They've not one of those off so far. They'll be desperate to come up here and get a win and push on and eat away at that 10-point deduction as quickly as they can. So very interesting. They've got a lot of good young players from a throwback to the time when they were breeding players of the academy. So it's going to be an interesting game. Yeah.
Do you think with a Lambert, obviously he was linked with Town, and then I think Nigel Clibbins came out and said we will not pay this amount of money for a player. Yeah. Do you think there was ever any likelihood of him coming?
Certainly, I mean, last January they put in a solid bid for him, and he could have been a Huddersfield Town player if Bristol Rovers would have agreed to sell at that point. They still wanted to make the playoffs, and they thought they had a decent chance. They wanted to keep hold of him, knowing that the summer would come. He was still under a year's contract. The information suggests that Town continued to bid for him over the summer, but obviously couldn't, come to a financial agreement. They said that they didn't think it was value for money in the sense that by the end of his contract he would have been 30. And it would have been hard to resell him.
I think he scored 2 and 2 now.
He scored for Bristol Rovers last Saturday and then immediately for Southampton on there. So everybody knows he's a great player, he's a good striker, he's a big target man, difficult to handle. He's always played well against us for other clubs. And he'll no doubt have a point to prove when he comes up here.
There'll be a big crowd on Saturday as well, a lot of people.
Certainly, yeah. I think a lot of Southampton fans, with it being the first away game, they're keen to be lifted a bit by their cup win on Tuesday. A lot of Town fans because it's the first home league game, so it's a game to look forward to again.
Are you going to make any predictions?
I'll say a 1-0 Town win.
At least 4. Right, thank you very much for this week, and all the best, and good luck to Town on Saturday.